Hi everyone, I'm Carmina Perez. I'm here at the top of the Roger Smith Hotel with Jeff Pulver from the 140 conference. And Jeff, tell us what we're doing here dressed in purple.
I really don't know. I came here dressed in purple, and apparently some other people here decided to follow the fashion trend. So anyway, I've been advocating the color purple for a very long time, but at the 140 conferences, you know, the basic tenets of the events are things like love and serendipity and happiness, and these are things which purple more aligns itself with than other things. Anyway, so it's warm and fuzzy, so I like purple.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful color. So we're having a cocktail party here for the 140 conference, and tell us what we're going to see in terms of events.
Upcoming, actually, it's a beautiful day in New York City. I planned it that way, and so we're getting together to hang out, to hug, to schmooze. At the 140 conferences, you'll find more hugs and handshakes, and you'll find people who are discovering what it's like to live in 40 years into the internet and the way that the effects of this internet is changing their lives. And so, upcoming right now, today there was an event in California, 140, that was run locally on Long Island on Thursday, on May 26th, I guess it is. There's a local 140 conference being run by some amazing people. I'm just a guest. I'm visiting. And if it doesn't rain, hopefully going to see the Ducks. And then on June 15th and 16th...
The Ducks?
The Ducks.
Okay.
I believe it's a baseball team.
Oh, okay.
But I guess if it rains, you also see Ducks. I don't know. No, we're not going to a pond, though. We're seeing a baseball team. And then June 15th and 16th at the 92nd Street Y is the annual 140 conference. And this is a gathering with people from around the world whose lives are being touched or affected or changed by this emerging real-time web. And right now we have people flying in from 14 different countries and 25 states, including the District of Columbia.
And now, you've been doing these conferences since 2009?
This is correct.
Can you tell me, just off the top of your head, what was one of the highlights, the high points in terms of the conferences that you've been able to witness?
One of the most amazing days of my life was the first day of the 140 in 2009, where there was a fight on stage about journalism between Rick Sanchez, who turns out to be an a-hole, and the beautiful, amazing Ann Curry. And it was just like you felt in the air. It was the first time ever in creating events where the audience turns around and starts screaming, because every time Ann Curry started to talk, Rick Sanchez actually started talking on top of her. Came to the point where the audience said, "Let Ann speak, let Ann speak." It's an amazing moment in time. So that was really cool just to be part of that. A year later, it's almost to the date, I got stuck in the elevator with Ann Curry. That was just fun. It was much more fun because I met her the year before, and if you ever have to get stuck in the New York Times with anyone, Ann's just a fun person to... But in terms of this...
And you tweeted about it.
Oh, we all tweeted about it. We had 9 people stuck in the elevator, everybody shooting video, everybody tweeting about it. It was the most documented stuck in the elevator experience anytime, anywhere in the world. Just go on Gawker. Actually, it was February 1st, 2010 it happened. The Today Show February 2nd, 2010 opened with video from us and with a shout out from Ann to me. It was very fun. I liked that a lot. But the overall, the rediscovery of humanity, I have to say, it's something which goes right up there with everything else. Because when I started doing these conferences, I was really focusing on, to some level, whether to call bullshit on all this. Because back in 2009, there was this crazy race to 1 million followers between Ashton Kutcher and CNN. Like, how stupid is this? So I decided in March of that year to do an event focusing on 4 things. The effects of Twitter as a platform on things like advertising in the media and politics in the world of celebrity. What I had no idea was not those industries, but the 50 other industries that were disrupted and disintermediated by just the advancements in the use of Twitter, the world going flat, and the whole idea that gatekeepers are going away. And what I discovered through that was a farming term called hybrid vigor. So what I did not know getting into this is that people would travel from around the world to come to this conference. And they would sit down next to somebody from a completely different industry, and they would connect on a soulful manner and actually have a relationship that's lasted now, for some people, 2+ years. If we were crop farmers, and we had our crops had offspring from 2 different geographic areas, the offspring is called hybrid vigor. It's what we breed at the 140 conferences. And as a byproduct of that, there happens to be just a warm energy in the air, and you can just feel the love, you can feel the serendipity, and it's like you can't manufacture this stuff, it just happens. And so that's sort of what I look forward to each year, is inviting amazing people, giving them the audience, sharing the audience, giving them a stage, and see what happens.
The events, the conferences, how do you see them evolving? How do you see them in 5 years and 10 years?
There's a limited amount of events that I can possibly do at any given time, any given year. Last year was an exception. I traveled the world. I did 10 cities. Last year I introduced, at the end of last year, I introduced a concept called the 140 local events, where people, as long as somebody from your group, from your town, from your city attended at least one conference of ours, or is willing to watch 16 hours worth of content online, you can apply for and get a one-time use license to bring the 140 to your city. And so what I'm hoping for more and more is for people from all over the world to come forward and bring the 140 home with them. So this year, like in the month of May of 2011, there was a 140 conference in Des Moines, Iowa. There was one recently in Vancouver, Washington. We have Central Sierra, California, and then Long Island. And hopefully coming up later this year, there's one in Hudson Valley, New York. There's going to be one up in Waterloo, Ontario, and hopefully others will just spring up.